Good evening everybody. Part two of my mini-series on my attempts to recreate the Gordon relief expedition of 1884-85, including some of the battles that came after. Previously finished the York and Lancs Regiment in essentially khaki, and what we have here is the 42nd Royal Highland Regiment, better known as the Black Watch, in their home service uniforms. These fought in some battles earlier, actually in 1882 against the Egyptian army, and they did fight later, but by that time I believe they'd changed their red coats for grey, which was quite common on the Gordon Relief Expedition and expeditions afterwards, until they changed to khaki. I thought I had to have some red coats, and I thought the Highlanders would do well with being it. They painted up quite nicely. These new line designs, castings, seemingly very, very good. I've been quite pleased with what I've had from them, and got some more on order. Picked out the tartans for the Black Watch, and white crossover belts, black pouches, and white spats, black shoes, and yeah, altogether quite reasonably pleased with the overall look. I don't know that it's my neatest work, but it it looks kind of pleasing in the overall effect. As I say, the officer, piper, and NCO there, nice little unit. I did reference the Colonel Mike Snook book, which was Go Strong into the Desert, because the more widely known Sudan Campaign's Osprey Guide contains a number of inaccuracies. It's apparently essentially correct, but some of the illustrations, for example, the camel corps, are now believed to be hopelessly inaccurate. This is not at all the grey that was used on the expedition, or by any of the troops at the time, really. It was more of a blue grey, and they now seem to have got that right in other books, but this is an example, I believe, where Osprey got it badly wrong. Other illustrations of interest are the GPO rifles there in the blue with grey trousers, which was essentially postmen who volunteered to go out to Egypt to man a heliograph unit for signalling purposes, and they wore what was essentially their postman's uniform, with the addition of a pith helmet. But yeah, all of the books have been quite useful, but that one is just to be regarded with caution. That illustration of the camel corps, and some of the other illustrations in there are not 100%, unfortunately. But as I say, that's the second unit up. What I've got next coming up is can be seen here. This is I'm going to do British infantry in shirt sleeves, so they could essentially be any regiment which has just been called out at short notice, and I may do them as a kind of odds and sods. I may even do a few post office rifles in there. I used to be a postman myself, so I may slip a few of those in there. Yeah, this is my little Humbrol paint tray, which it's really been one of my best ever purchases. It I think it was about £20, and working as I do from the living room table, it's well, it's seen a lot of action, as you can see, but it's been well worthwhile to transport all the paints and brushes and or a selection of the paints that I need at any one time. And yeah, doesn't seem to want to focus, but okay. Anyway, that was just the Highlanders, and I shall report on further progress as I achieve it. But as I say, I've been quite pleased with New Line Designs, and sent for some more of their figures. They also have a marvellous Little Bighorn range with Custer personality, and I'm thinking of that sometime in the future. But check out New Line Designs and see what you think. They've got all sorts of scales there, and worth a look. I sent actually for to Maverick Models for some flags, and sadly I seem to have sent for the wrong scale. So I thought 15mm would be as close to as I needed, but looking at sort of various reference material, most of the Ansar flags, the Arabic flags, would have been a good deal bigger than this. They're just too small. I've sent for the wrong type. So anyway, Maverick Models, check them out. These are the fabric flags, which it's essentially like cotton, and it really does work very, very well, very realistically. But thank you for watching, everybody, and thank you for your kind comments. It's very heartening. Thank you so much.